So with set 3 Raging Roar releasing right around the corner in just a couple of days from now, I thought I would finalize my set 2 tier list. This tier list was created straight after the limit and ban list for set 2. So I didn't really have the most amount of results seen or just, I guess, enough experience to determine what was like definite top tier and what was definitely bottom tier. This was more like a speculation list. And now that we have a couple of weeks of results and some experience that I have used on these decks, we can definitely refine this list here. So we're going to be jumping into this. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And let's get into it. I'd assume there's not going to be big changes like bottom to top tier. But I think one of the biggest changes in tiers will probably be Ginu. Ginu being bottom tier is a bit of disrespect, I will say. I always will say, like, if you are running Ginu, you might as well just run Frieza at this point, which is why I put him in bottom tier. Like, you're only using him for fun, so what's the point? But if you do use Ginu, you can get some results. I won't say, like, insane results. I think the consistency is not there, which is why I'm going to be putting him in mid-tier. I think a lot of decks in the higher tiers have ways to deal with wide bodies. I think that's where we are at right now, having to deal with wide bodies. And so decks will have a way to counteract that. And with Ginu, if you get rid of the wide body, well, he's going to run out of gas way quicker than any of the other decks that rely on having a board present. So that's why I think Ginu is not as high and more in the mid-tier. I know mid-tier sounds bad, but I guess, like, it's more like you need the high roll and your opponent needs the low roll in order to get the win. But it's definitely super fun to see Ginu go for the win. And for that reason why as well, I think that Gohan is going to go into mid-tier as well. He just can't deal with wide bodies. It's not like Broly where, like, they need to invest in cards. A lot of the wide body decks are 20Ks right now. And so every card can actually hit the leader. And his ability only allows to block essentially one card. While Broly here being at 25,000, which is somewhat playing a similar deck, they need to invest in cards in order to actually deal damage to Broly, which is one of the benefit things for Broly being a 25k. So I think Gohan here is definitely the weakest green deck out of all of them right now. Now, I probably will switch out Top Crew down here in... We'll put Super Saiyan Goku into the mid-tier. If you're not using Top Crew's ability for Kefla, it's a really bad trade-off. And so with Kefla being only at 1, it's a bit, you definitely need to do the Glimpse recycle. I think, though, in the next set, we should see Top Crew really shoot high. But there's a reason why we just don't see Top Crew being placed anywhere near high enough in these regionals, which is why I will be putting him in the low tier. At least Goku had some representation with the regional and did pretty well. So I'm going to actually keep him in mid-tier. But I do prefer Universe 7 Goku and Beerus, which I think I will keep them in the same spot. I do prefer Beerus a lot more than Universe 7 Goku, and I think Beerus stays in top tier. So I think what we're going to target next is the blues. I think although we are in this rock, paper, scissors kind of deal, I don't know why, but like blue is just not getting the results that it wants to see in these regionals. Either that is because there's so many more greens now, or it's just that the consistency is not that high. I really don't know what is happening with the blue. Blue is just not doing that good. And for that reason, as much as I would like to keep one representation in top tier, because of course blue can deal with yellow so easily, it's just that we don't really see them high enough to be putting them in top tier. So I will have to be putting them in the high tier. But I'll put them really at the top of the top high tier, just because out of they can deal with Beerus, they can deal with Frieza, which are two prominent decks. But it's just that up against green is such a high roll. It's so annoying. The best chances you got against green is using the vanilla spam with Videl, but you really need to get that great starting hand. And if you don't get that starting hand, it can really go downhill from there. And this is specifically for the androids matchup. But a good androids pilot can actually deal with the vanilla spam. I did try personally to do the vanilla spam at my locals, and the win rate wasn't all too great when it came to the androids. And with the blues, as you can see, we have all 4 blue leaders here. Goku Black is definitely the weirdest one. It has the most different deck out of all 3 of these, because they run the Zamasu Goku Black archetype. And it does have the best chances to verse green. The problem is, the only greens that you are seeing is androids. And they go super wide, super quick. And the current, I guess, Goku Black decks can't really deal with that unless you're running sickles, which feels like a waste for a lot of the times, just trying to get rid of 2 bodies. And then they just keep going wider and wider until they get the big bodies, such as the androids, which they get out real quickly. And because you want to awaken so fast, you get into this you get into a really fragile situation. And which is why I don't really, per se, think that Goku Black is in the high tier, but more like the higher mid tier. I think you do need to get some sort of high roll in order to deal with some of these decks right here. And what is weird that I think is that the Goku Black is not a good matchup against the other blue decks as well if they're running control. I want to move down Cell as well. I think he kind of has the same problem as Gohan realistically, and that is the being a 20k body and being a little bit slow on the ramp. Having that blank turn on Energy 4 is really a big deal. I think he relies too much on the Cell Arena field card. At least androids here don't really need to run the, I guess, Jiro's Lab in order to function really well. And so, yeah, it's a bit weird for the Cell right now. I think, though, the Earthling ramp may be, like, a great substitute down the line. But we'll see how that goes in the future. And then I think the last card that I want to talk about is Broly. I think Broly is in a fine line here where it comes to top tier, high tier. I think you could definitely put it in the bottom of top tier or the highest of high tier. Being a 25k body and then having the, you know, high tier green end cards is really good. So again, I'm not too sure. The problem with Broly is that I don't see enough, I guess, regional top placings with him as much as the other 3. We've seen all of these be regional players. Beerus more so than ever for some reason. Androids have been seen quite a few times. Frieza has definitely been seen. So when it comes to like actual results, I think these 3 should be at the top. But Broly has like that X factor, I guess you could say, to actually still be in the top tier. But again, just to be on the safer side, I will be putting him in the high tier. And having 3 top tiers is pretty good. And I will call it there. That is going to be my refined tier list. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of you may disagree. A lot of you may agree. It's up to you. This is just me, you know, with my own personal experience and then just seeing results from number 1 and 2 placings on regionals. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Peace.